Good morning. This is Jack from Charting Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 23rd of January. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay. Yes, we're seeing a bit of weakness here. You can see it on the RTH charts more. We haven't come down to trendline support here, but actually it's been broken on ES and I think NQ and YM. But we'll come to that on the RTH charts. So I am wondering about a bit of retracement here. It's something I was mentioning in the video yesterday. Is this going to be the end of the line? I don't think so. I'm not seeing much sign of that. A little, but I'm not seeing the patterns I would expect to see. What I'm seeing is a part cooked advance. So I'm thinking if we do see a retracement, then chances are it's a buying opportunity. One thing to note from yesterday, we did have a weak sell. Well, no, we had a full sell signal here actually. And sorry, I didn't write that in the 6-minute sell signal. Failed. But anyway, this was one of the sell signals we had. The other three survived. This one died at the high yesterday. So that is worth noting. All right, looking at NQ, we didn't have a sell signal here, making good progress up towards the retest of the high. But again, as I said, there's a little bit of weakness on the RTH charts. We're testing rising support on RTY. And obviously that could hold, but I am wondering about it. YM, we've got a weak 6-minute sell signal fix. And on the RTH charts, we have broken support. DAX and ESTX. DAX, we've still got a weak, still got a 6-minute sell signal. This is just powering up at the moment, and ESTX is too. And we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed here too. I'm not so focused on the Europeans. We've now got 1 out of 4 with a sell signal that looks a bit dubious on the Americans. I don't think that's likely to have a big impact, but I am wondering about a smallish retracement. All right, looking at the options for that. SPX, I drew in. I did say this trend line was too steep to last for long. I'm a bit surprised one of the steeps lasted as long as it has. But we did see a break late yesterday on Qs. We didn't break it. Dia, we did break it, and IWM obviously is the other one that we broke. We got a little double top here. We got some RSI 5. I think these ones actually probably will deliver. But it may not amount to much. We might just see a morning pullback or something. Possibly we'll see nothing at all, because obviously this has been a steady grind up, which actually, again, isn't a bad thing to see in an uptrend. Now, the other big news on SPX was that we made the retest of the high yesterday. This has left a potential double top here. I think looking at the overall market, I'm reckoning it's low probability this does anything. But obviously, it's always something worth noting. Is this trend line here a target? Possibly, but I would note we didn't reach the trendline support. So that being the case, I'm more skeptical about getting up to here, but I am expecting to go higher on. I don't have any further upside targets on SPX, but I do on the Qs. Qs, we haven't quite reached the retest of the high yet, and I'm expecting to. This is a really nice flag. It's clearly broken up, and the target is a retest of this high here at 53828. Looking at Dia, we had, again, a high quality flag, and that's broken up, and we've got a double bottom, which again has a target area, which is pretty close to the retest of the all-time high, and the flag target is a retest of the all-time high, and I think the chances of reaching that are also pretty good. Let's have a look at IWM. This was the decent flag draw on IWM. It was the one I liked, and actually it looks a little better than it appears here. I'll just change this trend line here. Sometimes these move when I save them, which is kind of annoying. You see? That's the trend line there, and it's actually a very nice one. So this is a nice flag. But on this draw, which is my preferred one, as I was noting in the post yesterday, of course, we've now only got up to and confirmed declining resistance. Now, this is good because it strengthens the flag. It's bad because we haven't actually broken up from it yet. And I was saying this would be a good time to do a retracement. So we could be seeing that. In due course, I'm expecting this to break up, and again, that would have a target and a retest of the all-time high. So we'll see how that goes. One other thing to mention was I've been a little concerned, I mentioned it before, about where we are in relation to the 3SD upper band on Dia and IWM particularly, you can see that we've been staying pretty close to it, but we haven't actually touched it. And now the Bollinger Bands are expanding rapidly, having been contracting till 5 days ago. So this will be going up significantly every day. It's not something that's likely to be hit, but as I said, this wouldn't be a bad time to see at least some retracement. Looking at IWM on that, we've got oh, by the way, we've still got these weak RSI 14 buy signals on the daily charts on IWM and Dia, and I think I'm feeling pretty good about them making target too. Assuming everything stays on the track that it appears to be on now, then chances are that is going to happen. All right, but again, with the daily middle bands, hang on. Right, it's IWM weekly. That's the one. Okay, with the daily middle bands, we've been pretty close to the 3SD upper band, and I'm really looking for a couple more days of retracement or consolidation before this goes up, because we're only starting to go up on the Bollinger Bands here. Would it be so serious if it actually touched the 3SD upper band? No, not necessarily. But it's something which tends to be something which the market won't do unless it's in fairly extreme circumstances. Has this been a fairly extreme rally? Not on IWM, no. Not so far, at least. So we shall see. So anyway, overall lean is we're likely to go significantly higher. I'm thinking we've got a pretty good chance of reaching the all-time highs on all 4 of the US indices. And we are obviously some significant distance off that still, particularly on IWM. All right, looking at DAX. DAX is flying higher. Nikkei has actually found a bid, but I'm still skeptical about seeing a retest of this high here at 42.4, but we are at least back over. This has been underperforming though, so we shall see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at DX. Now DX, I was saying yesterday I thought we might form a right shoulder here, a second one, although you could read this as a first one. But I'm thinking we might form a better right shoulder here, and at the moment we're seeing that start to play out. We don't have any divergence here because I've called it with the buy signal having reached the possible near miss target. So we will see how that goes. Looking at the hang on, just looking at the currency pairs quickly. As I mentioned yesterday, we do have quite a lot of patterns forming that suggests that we're going to see dollar go down soon. This is basically the mirror image of the one on the dollar on EUR/USD. GBP USD is trying to break up from an IHS as well. USD JPY, not a bad looking double bottom, although that might be a rejection back to the high. We've broken up from this little, sorry, not a bad looking double top, but we may be breaking back up into a retest the high to make a full double top. USD CAD, nice looking double top setup. Australian dollar, nice looking double bottom setup. NZ, nice looking double bottom setup. There's a theme developing here, obviously. And I think that's probably saying that the dollar's going to go down soon, of course. And we did have a daily RSI 14 weak sell signal brewing, and that actually fixed yesterday on DX. Looking at ZB, ZB still looks like a bull flag to me, and I'm leaning towards ZB going up a bit more. But I think everyone's talking about trend, the yields going down and the trend has turned, etc. I don't believe that's the case at all. I'm still looking for the retest of the high on TNX. I'd be expecting that to get down into the 104 to 106 area on ZB. And I think after this rally, we're going to go down and do that. I could be mistaken, but I think there's powerful reasons to think that's likely to be the case. And actually, when it gets there, we're in an inflection point from which, depending on what happens and whether or not we see a bond crisis this year, we could actually find it hangs out there and then actually breaks up. In which case, I'll have a tentative target at a yield of 8.1%, which would really rock the financial world. So that is something I'll be watching. I'll be trying to get a bigger picture out on that, as well as one on the dollar in the next week or so. CL, we've got a daily sell signal here. We've got a possible head and shoulders here, which is broken down with the target in the 72.5 area. I'm quite liking that target, although I would note that at this low here, we are currently testing the 200 DMA. That could hold, but the negative divergence and the overall theme, the overall feel here is leaning down towards the downside. NG, I was suggesting yesterday that we might form a head and shoulders right shoulder, and that's what we're doing at the moment. Now, it doesn't mean this is going to break down, but if it does break down, then this will have a target in about the 2.9 to 2.95 area. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. As I've been mentioning, we are in a seasonal downtrend, and we usually make a significant low in the February to April period and on natural gas. And this would be a good looking setup to get that done. All right, looking at GC. Overall, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of the all-time high on this. I think we've got a nice triangle on the daily GC chart, and that's where it points. SI. SI, we're looking a bit weak here, but this looks like a bull flag forming. Go down much further, and that would seem unlikely. HG. I was mentioning we had a possible head and shoulders, which I wasn't expecting to see form, but nonetheless has formed. It's nice and it's broken down. If it makes target, this is it has a target in the 4.075 area. If it doesn't make target, then obviously we're looking at a rejection back up to the highs. Really, on the overall setup, I'm leaning a bit towards the rejection back to the highs, but I am wary that it might go the opposite way, and we are looking at a bit of a rally on the dollar at the moment. KC finally made it to the retest of the high. That is a flag target made. We've got a possible double top here, and watching with interest, we do have a daily RSI 14 sell signal fixed. SB, I was saying yesterday that we were at a big support area and we could see another bottoming setup form. I think we may well be seeing another bottoming setup form. And on the daily chart, we have the daily buy signals fixed. We've now got two more, RSI 14 and better, RSI 14, possible RSI 14 and RSI 5 daily buy signals spring. I think we might be putting in a very significant low here on sugar, and I'm really liking this. It's so we shall see. CC, this started off life as a very nice triangle, classically, and then it turned into a choppy triangle, but nonetheless a triangle. I'm leaning towards this breaking up into a retest of the high, and arguably is already broken up. And I've got that high in the 12,950 area. Wheat finally actually called a bid, more or less as I'd given up on it ever doing so. Big resistance level up here. We could form a right shoulder here for a much larger inverted head and shoulder pattern. On corn, we broke up from the possible bear flag setup, which is great. Doing a bit of a retracement here might just be a flag. Soy, we have a big double top here. I'm not taking that particularly seriously, but we do have a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed, and at the moment it looks like it's forming a bull flag. On CT looks like it's rejecting back to the low, which is a shame because this was actually well supported, lovely target at the monthly pivot, and also we had a buy signal on the daily chart, but nonetheless it looks like it's going to be retesting the low, and so the double bottom looks like it's failing. Lumber, not got a good feel for this, but we're getting pretty close to a retest of this low here in the 566 area. On live cattle, the double top here broke down, and we've got another potential double top here. Not seeing an awful lot of reason to think this might make target, but we will see. Looking at lean hogs, trying to make a low here. Got to say, having come down this far, I'm wondering about a retest of this low, although that wouldn't be making the second low of a double bottom because this would be too large. Okay, just to recap on here. On the RTH charts, the very, very, very strong trend lines that I was talking about going up yesterday, and very, very steep trend lines, and I was saying these were unlikely unsustainable. They've actually broken in yesterday afternoon on SPX, on Dyer, and on IWM. I'm wondering about seeing some more retracement. IWM is at a key resistance level, obviously, at the main bear flag resistance, which hasn't broken up yet. I'm thinking we might do a bit of retracement here, which would really help me out, because without retracements, it's pretty hard to have patterns. So I'm hoping to see some retracement here, but it may well be that we're going to go higher and do that from there. What the lack of retracements is telling us, though, is chances are this isn't done. It could be, but chances are it's not. Normally when I see this means that there is significantly further up to go, and the pattern is yet to form. At the moment, I'm not seeing the patterns that, I mean, if we formed nice looking bear flags on this move up, then I'd be bearish. We haven't done that. We haven't really formed much of anything apart from incredibly steep trend lines, which are clearly unsustainable. So until we have more, generally speaking, I'll be leaning towards higher. So that's where we are now. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions. What level am I seeing a possible retracement to on SPX? Let's have a look. Let's just have a look at the obvious area. If we see it, and I have to say we are very much at the if stage here, but if we see it, really, I'd love to see the gap fill. We've got quite a lot of support here. Yesterday morning's gap fill at 60.50. That would be a really nice one to see. That would be back testing this high here at 60.49. That would be back testing this little high here too. This is a broken resistance level, and it would be great to see a back test. That's the area that I'm thinking we might make. We've got a little topping pattern here. It wouldn't get us there. It might get us back to 60, 65, 60, 70. But if we could see a back test of 60.50, that would be very much my preferred level. And I'm thinking we might well get that. All right, my pleasure as always, guys. I will catch you tomorrow.